Hey everybody, how's it going? Like Butter here, and today I'm going to be talking about the new update that just happened today, 4/8/2013 to Gears of War Judgment. There was a few changes made that I really liked, so I wanted to discuss them with you and also talk about some other things that I feel needs to be tweaked in Gears of War Judgment. Of course, this is going to be an interactive video. I want to hear what you guys think as well, so make sure to drop a comment in the comment section below on what you think about what I've said about this topic. Okay, so let's get into it. This is the epic post, of course, being posted today. All rifles being reverted to the values that they were at ship, meaning the time that the game came out, which is good because I don't know if most of you know this, but they increased the rifle damage by about 30%, I think, a week ago, and a lot of people didn't really like this. I've never ever had a comment on one of my videos being like, Drew, I really think they need to increase the damage on the rifles. Never ever have I heard that, so I was so confused when I heard they made a huge boost in the rifles. So they knew that it was a mistake. They got a lot of feedback from fans and realized that going back to the factory settings for as far as how good the rifles are, I feel like that was a really good idea. You know, now that it's back to how it was, I feel like a lot more people are going to not really abuse the rifles like I've seen in the last couple of days. People knew that there was a damage boost, and it was almost impossible to cope with. People just walking around hip firing the Lancer. It was awful. Because with the rifles that strong, no stopping power doesn't even matter. But anyways, so that was the first change. The second change was the stun on smoke grenades being converted to match melee stun. Reduce stun from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. Now that means when you throw a smoke at somebody and it hits them on impact or it lands next to them and it stuns them, it's only going to stun them for a very small portion of time, the same portion of a melee. So that's good. That was really broken. I didn't like how you got stunned for a total of 2 seconds, because what it did is it changed the smokes from being a more of an objective grenade to being an offensive grenade. And I mean, it's okay to be used to kind of flush people out of cover and stuff like that, but I feel like this is more realistic. You know, it's just the stun was so crazy that it could be used like so unfairly in certain ways. So I'm happy that got changed. So the smokes are going to be used more objectively, but it will still give you that short stun to give you an advantage over your opponent. Just not like, you know, 3 free shots like you used to get. That was just crazy. But happy that they changed that. And of course, I will put a link in the description to this epic forum post if you guys want to check it out. And the third change is the stumble after falling from high distances. This one I'm not so sure about. I feel like the stun should be pretty long if you're jumping off a really high building. And the reason for that is because I talked about this in one of my live streams, and it's kind of hard with execution. This is why these games are lasting so long. For those of you who play execution, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of the games are lasting very long. I'm talking 20-minute games, which are basically unheard of. I've never heard of an execution match last 20 minutes in Gears of War 3 or even Gears of War 1. I remember back when I used to play 19-round games and it wouldn't even last that long. Oh, that's not true. Those would last like 40 minutes. But anyways, the reason the games are lasting so long for only 5 rounds, first to 5, is because of the fact that there are so many ways to get out of certain situations. Now, when you're running around, especially on a map like Streets, say you're getting chased by 2 people. Now, in the other Gears of Wars, what you could do is you could slowly, kind of like a game of chess, slowly get angles on your opponent and lock them into a corner of the map so that they can't go anywhere. That's the strategy behind a 2 versus 1. But in this game, there's a lot of places where you can get out of tight situations by jumping off buildings or jumping to ledges or jumping over things. It's just very slippery to try to catch somebody in a 2v1 now. So I'm not completely sure about the you know, the lowering of the stun of that, because I feel like if you're gonna run away from two people and jump off an entire building, I believe you deserve to be stunned for a portion of time, and you deserve to take a large amount of damage. That should be something going through someone's head where, is jumping off this building going to get me killed? Should I turn around and fight this 2v1? Do I have a better chance of doing that than jumping off the building? So I'm not too fond of that change. Let me know what you guys think. That's just my opinion on it. And the last change is my favorite of them all. Smoke Martyr being removed. So that means that when you get downed, now this was back in, this was done in Gears of War 3, and I wasn't even a huge fan of it back then. Basically what happened is when you got downed, if you had your grenades out, whether it be a smoke grenade or a regular grenade, you could detonate it when you were downed. Now in this game, you can't equip grenades. Grenades are just something that it's basically a quick throw feature. So what you could do is every time you got downed in execution, if you had that grenade and you didn't use that grenade, you could blow it up and stun them for 2 seconds. So if it's in a major gunfight where it's like a 2v2 or a 3v3 where it's a huge like pretty much clusterfuck where everyone's fighting each other at short ranges, that's gonna change the game. Not only is that gonna save you from getting killed when you're downed, it's gonna stun 3 of the people on the other team so that your team can get the revive. It only takes about a second to revive somebody, and then have an entire second to get free shots on your enemies. That was one thing that was really, really broken, and I'm very, very happy with the Epic team making the changes that are necessary to push their game in the right direction. Big shout out to Epic Games. They've been doing a great job, and I feel like they've been listening to the community more on this game than they have in the past. They're making more frequent changes, and I think they're starting to realize that, without the community input, it's hard to put out a game that everyone's going to enjoy. It's better to just get it all out on paper. What does everyone like? What does everyone don't like? And I'm very, very happy with the changes that they made. So with that being said, a few other things that I feel like need to be changed. One, the shotgun. Now, I'm not talking about the shotgun getting a buff in damage. I think the damage is okay. But what happens is, I wish I had an example. I will talk about it in another video. But what they did is they made it so that the spread of the shotgun is the same hip firing and when you're hard aiming or L triggering. Now, I don't think that's right. I feel like the gun should be a little bit more accurate. The spread of the shotgun should be a little bit smaller when you pop shot and hard aim the shotgun, in my opinion. And the reason for that is because there's a few reasons, actually. One reason being, if you're hard aiming a shotgun or you're L triggering a shotgun, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage because technically you are slowing your movement down. You can't move as fast as you can when you're strafing, when you're hip firing, as you can when you're hard aiming. You can't move fast. And what it's doing is, since the hit boxes on some of the on some of the COD characters are so small, the spread is too big and a lot of the pellets are missing. So I think that's one thing that needs to be changed. And other than that, just a few more maps, and just, I don't know, I'm just happy in the direction that the game's going, at least. But I will put more in depth. I know this video's ran out of time. I'll put a lot more depth into the next video I make about the shotgun. But this is more of an interactive video. What do you guys think about the new update? Do you guys like it? Let me know in the comment section below. I've been Like Butter. Make sure to drop a like if you enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys next time. Take it easy, everybody.